beyond. Right now, 67 degrees in Omaha, Council Bluffs, 66 in Lincoln. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB. Compute This is next.
Schrock Innovations presents Nebraska's #1 independent computer repair company with offices in Omaha and Lincoln. This is Compute This.
Alrighty, good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Forrest Schrock, and I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with 3 locations in Nebraska to help you out with your computer needs. The original, 27th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln. Then came the Omaha Service Center at 168th and Burke, across the street from the big old blue Best Buy box there. We love those guys. They send us all kinds of stuff. It's actually a symbiotic relationship because Best Buy isn't allowed to fix. I shouldn't say can't fix, because the guys there are capable of fixing a lot of stuff. They've got some good techs. They're just not allowed to fix things. So they send them over to us. And, of course, then the Papillion Service Center, which is currently located at 72nd and Highway 370, will be shortly moving to 84th and Highway 370 this fall. Watch out for additional information on that coming up in late October, early November. All right, this show today is jam-packed. And we have something for everybody. So let me start off by saying, if you're interested in the U.S.'s manufacturing prowess and the impact of new technology on that, we've got a story about robots. Who's making them? How they're making them? What they're being used for? That's coming up on the program today. If you have ever checked your credit report, Equifax, you go to get a mortgage or something, or you do your free annual online credit check. Equifax got breached. 146 million people's personal identification and information, oh yeah, all the goodies, stolen. Even your credit card numbers in some case. So we're going to tell you what to look for there, what to do about it, and how you can check to see if your individual personal data was stolen. We also have an official release date for the Windows 10 Creators Update. That's what the Schrock Safe Upgrade software is designed to help you with. So that's coming up here on the program as well. Oh, golly, what else do we have here? Oh, let me see. There, yeah, they got a security firm. Oh, yeah, there's a bug in Windows. It's been there for a couple decades. Microsoft didn't think it was a big deal, but apparently security researchers disagree. And it's still there. All right, so we've got a ton of stuff to cover on the program today. And, of course, your calls, 866-496-8772. That's 866-496-8772. Those are the numbers to join us on the program today, and we'll put you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Good for anything your heart desires, 866-496-8772. Yes, you can use it for the Schrock Safe Upgrade if you'd like, and yes, you can purchase that in the service center if you like. We'll talk about that coming up here on the program as well. All right, so if you didn't already know, we are streaming live at this very moment at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. Facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. If you click like there on that Facebook page, you'll get automatically notified when we go live. I don't go live for everything. Once in a while, if there's something cool happening, I'll go live for just a couple minutes. But we do the show every week, and we got our stable of people who watch it. So if you're from outside of the Nebraska listening area, I'd love to have you say hi on Facebook. We'll make sure we shout you a hi back there. We love to hear how far and wide our program is going. As you click that like and share button, your friends and family hear about it, and it just spreads. And it's really cool to see. We've had people as far away as Texas. We have one person from Switzerland. No joke. So that was pretty awesome. And apparently our website, especially our do-it-yourself section, is incredibly popular in India. Yeah, who'd have thought? We have almost continuously someone from India on our website. It's pretty awesome. So, yeah, all kinds of good stuff going on there. So let's start off with probably what I'm guessing you're most concerned about today, the Equifax breach. All right, so here's what happened. About 2 months ago, it was June, July-ish, Equifax was breached. At the time, they apparently were not aware that they were breached. How they got breached has not really been determined yet. They've hired a security firm to come in and help them try to figure out what happened. But I don't think it's a coincidence that a couple months after the breach, you might remember last week we brought you the story about a new vulnerability in Cisco gear that was causing, or did we talk about that one? I think that one was a little too highbrow. It was really, really like technical. And it was like I was reading it and my eyes were glazing over. And so if my eyes are glazing over, yours are too. It only impacted Fortune 100 companies, so it wasn't a big concern for Schrock. We're not Fortune 100 just yet. So, so yeah, it was just the big boys, big boys like Equifax. So I don't know if that's how the breach happened or not. They're trying to determine that right now, but that's certainly something I would start with. Those kind of breaches that are that specific and that big don't get leaked lightly. There are security research firms, and the way this typically works is they find a new vulnerability. When they find the vulnerability, they turn around and report back to the company like Cisco and say, hey, we found this vulnerability. You should really fix it. This is what it is. Out of courtesy, because we discovered this, we can talk about it anytime we want. We don't have any obligation to be quiet for you, but this could hurt a lot of people. So we're going to sit on this for 90 days. We're going to give you 3 months to fix it. And if you haven't fixed it in 3 months, we're going to go public, which gives Cisco all the motivation in the world to fix stuff. And companies have made decisions in both directions. They have decided to fix their stuff, and then they have decided to ignore it and say, whatever, thanks for the heads up, or just ignore the email and not respond like they never saw it. I've seen mixed rumors about, no one really knows how Equifax was hacked yet. So you can't really say it's because of their shoddy cyber defenses, because if they got hit by a 0-day vulnerability, that's the same as you or I getting hit with a 0-day vulnerability. There's a reason they call it a 0-day vulnerability. When we all get together for the zombie apocalypse and the first person gets infected, there is nothing that person could have done to prevent them from getting infected. They are patient zero. The 0-day. So Equifax is patient zero here, and they get hit. Now, that doesn't mean that they weren't doing everything they should have been doing to keep stuff safe. But literally, I think I could describe their response to this hack. I mean, it's bad news, right? You get hacked and you lose 146 million people's names, addresses, social security numbers, dates of birth, driver's license numbers, and in some cases, their credit card numbers. Come on. Yeah, that's a, as Joe Biden would say, that's a BFD. That's a big deal. And so, how are you going to fix this? Well, the first thing is you can't fix it. So how are you going to handle it? You have to handle it professionally. You have to be upfront and honest with people so they can take steps to protect themselves. That also shields you from personal liability. Some things that would not be a good thing to do. 1, don't wait 2 flippin' months to tell anybody that it happened. That's bad. 2, in that interluding 2-month period of time, it would be a really bad idea for senior executives and staff to sell their stock. Yeah, that might look a lot like inside trading. Some really bad news is coming. Equifax is publicly traded. And now they, of course, all the executives say the stock, they weren't aware of the hack when they sold their stock, which is entirely possible. They all decided to sell some stock. And if you know anything about executives selling stock, you can't just wake up that morning and be like, oh, I'm tired of being theoretically rich. I want to be really rich. So I'm going to be real rich. So I'm going to sell my stock today. No, there's a whole process. You have to fill out forms. It takes time. So they didn't just wake up and decide to sell it. Number 3, don't make the whole thing into a giant dumpster fire. It's bad. Dumpster fires are bad, okay? They look really cool, but they're bad. So how did this thing become a dumpster fire? So they finally talk about it. They release the information about it. They put up a page, which let's go ahead and link to that on our Facebook page, Mark, at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations here in the show. But they put up a page that you can go in and you can put your last name on, and you can put the last 6 digits of your social security number in, and you can click the I'm not a robot box, and then hit search. And it will tell you whether or not your personal information was compromised in the breach, whether they think it was. So the lovely Kimberly, my beautiful wife, her data was not compromised in the breach. Thor Schrock, oh yeah, compromised. I was compromised worse than your best friend's sister. It was bad. Oh my gosh, it was bad. So all my stuff is out there. Now, here's the thing. When they first put this page up, oh, you're going to love this one. When they first put the page up, when you searched if you didn't read the terms of service, the terms of service says, by doing this search, you exempt us from any legal responsibility resulting from any data breach. You agree not to include yourself in any class action lawsuits against us, of which they've already been filed for like $40 million. Blah, blah, blah. You surrender all your rights, and then we'll give you a free year of like identity theft protection. As you know, and so literally, that's when somebody just had a gallon of gasoline and there was a dumpster fire. It was a small dumpster fire, and they just alley-oop, a gallon of gasoline right into the dumpster. Boof! It became a monster dumpster fire. Social media lit up. How dare you guys lose our data, and then in an attempt to let us figure out if we were impacted, try to take away our rights to sue you for losing our data? Good golly, that's terrible stuff. You don't operate that way. And so social media outcry, it was crazy. They had to specifically remove, it was a generic terms of service. It was just somebody said, where's the terms of service? Slapped it up there. Generic legal lawyery stuff. Nobody bothered to read it. They didn't even read it. And as a result, boosh, dumpster fire. So then they had to come out and take that line out, specifically come out and say, no, this does not remove your rights to sue us. Then, of course, a class action lawsuit was filed. Some enterprising lawyer got the bright idea to do it, found a couple victims, and sued. And now there's a $40 million plus lawsuit in the pipeline, of which you'll probably get a notification. 146 million people. What's 40 million divided by 146 million? What's $40 divided between 146 people? And then if you give 3/4 of that to the attorney first, you're going to get $1. Okay, you're going to get that stupid paper check for $1. It's hardly worth filling out the form. Okay, but it's $1, right? So yeah, what's Equifax ever done for you? Anyone who's ever got a credit report that wasn't happy with it, you might be doing a little hoo-hoo happy dance right now. But Equifax is feeling the burn right now. All right, 866-496-8772. That is the number to join us on the program today. Ask a question, make a comment, and we'll get you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. All right, on Facebook right now, Ronnie's asking, what do you do about the hack? All right, well, on the hack, let's see here. We're going to go ahead, and I don't know if we have that posted yet or not. Let me refresh the page right quick here. Because for some reason, it doesn't always show me the most recent comments. It shows me like the top comments. So, Ronnie, you're considered a top commentator, apparently, because, and Mark, if you posted that link, you're not a top commentator. So, you need to work on that, okay? We'll talk about that during your next performance evaluation. 866-496-8772. So you can go to their website now and you can check to see if you were involved in that breach. It does not remove your rights to sue if you prefer to sue. On the other hand, if you, there it is, got it. TrustedIDPremier.com. Yeah. It's the same website they used to sign you up for their Trusted Identity Theft Protection Service, but it doesn't actually do that. This is just a check, and then you can choose to go forward and sign up. And the best part is like they say, please come back and visit this website in a couple days, and we'll tell you what you can do, right? But they don't send you an email that has all that information. So if you do a search and you click next, it'll tell you where to go. I just copied that and emailed it to myself so that I would have it for later, so I could go back to their website at the time when they want me to go back, I guess, because it's all my fault and I should keep track of all this stuff. But being a responsible person, I haven't always been a responsible person. There's been some times I've been rather irresponsible. All right, we have a couple minutes here. Before we jump into our first break, let me tell you a story that is super duper interesting that I need your opinions on. For the last few years, we have been going with Asus laptops for all of our computer construction. We love the Asus models. They're very easy to work on. They're very reliable. They're very durable. They perform well. Dell laptops are also pretty reliable, and they perform well, and they have a lot of the same features. And part of that is because Asus makes a lot of the parts that go into Dell laptops. I had a falling out with Dell in 2011. And you might have noticed right around 2011, we stopped selling Dell computers entirely. There was a reason for that. All right, 2011 was 1 year after we opened the Omaha Service Center. And one of the big problems that we had, that was the second time we tried to open an Omaha service center. The first time we tried to shoestring it, we had a lot of problems. We couldn't get our radio show on KFAB. There was an availability issue and a talent issue, to be honest. I wasn't good enough to be on KFAB at that point. Honestly, they're very selective about who they put on the air here. Otherwise, every UFO freak would have a radio show on KFAB. I think that's pretty much specifically what they told me. But anyway, the bottom line is that it took some time to get everything off the ground. And during that time, one of the big problems we had is we were undercapitalized for an expansion into Omaha. In walks Dell. Dell says, we're going to give you this fat line of credit. We're going to give you a $60,000 line of credit with which you can purchase all of the infrastructure needs that you need from Dell. All the monitors on the walls of our service centers are all Dell's. The rack in the back, the server, the battery backup, all the wire, the outlets, the little data caps, the keystones in the walls all came from Dell. Our tech computers were all Dell's in the beginning. The front desk computers were all Dell's in the beginning. Yeah, I could have built myself my own computers, but Dell gave us a fat credit line, and we were able to, as a small business owner, we were able to preserve our capital to finance advertising rather than equipment. And that made sense to do. Yes, it wasn't modular. Yes, it didn't last more than 2.5 years. We did beat it up quite a bit, but okay, whatever. We didn't really buy any laptops for ourselves. We just pretty much stuck with their desktop models. So long story short, we ran up a $60,000 tab with Dell to get that service center off the ground and running. Again, also we used it again for the Papillion Service Center. The interest rate on that, here's where you learn in life. Read the fine print. Just like on the trusted ID thing, you read the fine print. The fine print from Dell said, for the first year, your introductory interest rate is 0. Whatever percent. It was next to nothing. It was inconsequential. But after a year, you get hit with all the back interest, buddy, if you don't have it paid off. And because I thought it was a permanent interest rate, I didn't make a rush to pay the thing off in a year. And we paid it way down. We paid it down low. And then all of a sudden, thump, we got hit with back interest, charged it way back up. I called Dell. I said, listen, guys, come on. We're good customers. We pay on time. We're going to do a lot of business together. This is crazy. Help us out with this interest rate. Dell Finance, nothing of the sort. And this is when Dell was a publicly traded company. They would not do anything, and they've been calling me religiously every quarter ever since 2011, asking me if I would please do business with Dell. And every time I tell them, if you can lower my interest rate, I will. And they never did. And that's why, to this day, we have never carried a Dell in our service centers at all. Now, if a customer comes in and says, I want a Dell, and they want us to buy a specific Dell for them, we will find a Dell that will work for them, and we'll do that. But we don't carry them. We don't list them in our catalogs, nothing. So I get a call from my Dell representative. Now, what's changed? Dell is a private company now. Michael Dell bought Dell back, and it's a private company. And I get a call from my Dell rep, and he says, Thor, we want to make things right. And I'm like, well, you could have made things right, at $20,000 of interest ago. But it's a little late now, guys. We're going to have this sucker paid off in December. We're going to be free and clear. We didn't use the credit line again after that. And, we were sending them huge monthly payments. Oh, it's going to be all cleared up in December. Yes. It's like that. And my truck's going to be paid off in November. I'm feeling good, right? We're dropping some debt. I like it. And, of course, they're calling me back because they see that credit line getting paid off and they want me to use it again. And, of course, this time around, they're willing to give me a permanent interest rate. Just, sorry for the confusion there, Mr. Schrock. You know those lawyers. So he calls me back and he says, listen, I know you do the holiday special, and I know you do a laptop, and you usually go with an Asus. We would really like you to use a Dell this year. And we have Dells that have comparable features, in fact, better features than some of the Asuses you've been using, and we really want you to carry a Dell this year. And so they tell me basically, we want to send you a free Dell. Let me send you a free unit so you can check it out, evaluate it, tear it down, put it back together, make sure it's repairable, make sure it's not all chip on board, that you can upgrade it, you can do anything you want to it. Let me send you a free Dell, and if you like it, maybe you'll be interested in using us, for that. And so my first thought was, you want to send me a free, he said, send me a free unit. I'm like, what's a unit? Is a unit a laptop? Is a unit a desktop? Is a unit a server or a switch? Because I'm looking at my Schrock Interactive guys, and they would love a dev bed server, like an actual dedicated server for a dev bed. And I'm thinking, I can get a free server, right? Who wouldn't? Who'd pass that up? And how often does Dell call you and offer you a free computer, And for me, it's like, they say, no, like a consumer computer. And I'm like, that's not exciting at all. Fine. Send me here's what we think. If we looked over your line, if we were going to evaluate one to use for the holiday special, it would be this one. It has all the same features that we plan to have in our Asus model for the holiday special. And you better get it here quick, because we're going to make a decision on this pretty much by the end of this month on what laptop we're going with, because we got to get the marketing materials ready. So he's sending it to us, and we're going to check it out. So here's my question for you. If you had a choice between a Dell and an Asus, do you have any problem with a Dell, or would you prefer us to stay with an Asus? Or do you have a problem with Asus, and would you prefer us to switch over to Dell? Looking at the specs on paper, the Dell computer is a little bit more spec'd out than the Asus computer is for the price. Not majorly, like a slightly better video card. Things that the average consumer is not going to notice, but the tech guys will. And for us, when it comes to a holiday special, even if we can get a little bit more spec out of a computer, that means it's going to last you longer. Even if you don't use it for gaming or for some high-end use like business or something like that, if you're just using it at home, if we get you a holiday special laptop, that's the point. It'll last you for years, and you don't have to buy a new laptop every 18 months, which is what all the major manufacturers are going for. The exception is when you get into these high-ticket laptops, then they last a little bit longer. That's why the holiday special is so popular. So anyway, let me know. Let's see here. Tom is saying it's not free. You already overpaid $20,000 for it. This is true. This is very true. And I pointed that out in the call, but I didn't want to be spiteful. I was trying to be Christian about it, okay? So I said, let's talk about it. So I wanted to get your opinion on it, because we're going to evaluate it. But if you guys don't want to look at a Dell for the holiday special, even if it's a slightly better computer than the Asus model we're looking at now, I want to know that now. All right, 866-496-8772. Got to take a quick break. John, stay on the line. I know you can't hold long. We're going to take you right away after the break, coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This Pro Tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from DriveAdvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Opened drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, we're trucking on. Welcome back into Compute This. Let's jump into those phones. 866-496-8772. John, you're the first caller of the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Well, I have a printer issue. I took a cartridge into a place to have it refilled instead of buying a new cartridge. I put that cartridge in the printer, and the printer wouldn't accept it. So I put the other one back in. It still had a little bit of ink in it. Mm-hmm. And about a day later, the printer said, ink system failed. It gave an error code. It says turn off and turn back on. I turned off and turn back on, and I still see ink system failed.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's one of. I'm not going to ask you for the name of the place that refilled the cartridge for you. Was it an office supply store or a place that specializes in refilling cartridges?
Well, it was a membership store.
Gotcha. Okay. So they're using the same ones as the office supply stores are, and that's one of the big problems. Like I've bought refill cartridges at office supply stores before, and they've bricked printers for me too, especially HPs.
So I guess the basic question is, I'm assuming I'm much better off probably just to scrap this printer, buy a new one, and press on down the road.
Well, you're not necessarily out of luck just yet. Is this a PhotoSmart printer, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. There's actually a thing you can do with the printer that will show you, that tells you how to fix it. Basically, you can reset the printer to factory defaults, and it should reset the ink system. At that time, you can put in some either genuine HP cartridges. They don't pay to be a part of the show, but Cartridge World is where we get our refills from. We use their refill toner in our service centers in all of our printers, and they work great. Never had a problem with them. But that's where I would recommend if you were going to go there. But basically, you want to do a master reset. And I have a link here that I can email over to you. If you can I don't know if you can hang on to the bottom of the hour. We can get your email address, or I can, if you're on Facebook, I can post it on the show right now on the Facebook page, and you can grab it there. Whatever's easier for you.
Well, probably just. I don't know. I tried, putting the disk in and rebooting.
Oh no, this is way beyond that. This is
way beyond that.
You're going to be disconnecting internal cables inside the printer.
Okay.
This is a master reset. This is we don't usually do printer repair in the service center because an hour of labor is $110, and you can usually buy a new printer for relative there. So on the one hand, if you're looking for a do-it-yourself opportunity, that if it works, you're the man. And if it doesn't work, hey, your printer was broken anyway, right? It's like, I'm going to buy a new printer. You turn it off, you unplug it. It's always good to unplug it before you start messing around inside. You open the right side of the printer looking in the front. So this is the door they're talking about. You disconnect by pulling gently both white flat ribbon cables off the main circuit board. Okay? So these are cables that are not designed for consumers to remove easily. They're designed for little tiny hands to go in there and plug and unplug, like Keebler elves. So you got to unplug these two cables, and then you plug in the power again and turn it on, and then it's going to give you an error message, and then you push OK. And then you unplug it again, and you reconnect all the cables, and you plug it back in again, and step 8, no joke, literally says, voila.
Yeah.
The nasty error message.
I get that error message, and of course I've turned it off. But then when I turn it back on, I get the error message again. But of course I hadn't disconnected those cables.
Yeah, so we'll try that here. And so if you can hang on for just another minute here, and I'll get you an email out here at the bottom of the hour.
All right, thank you.
All right, hey, thanks for the call, John. We appreciate it. This is what we do, guys. We help people out when they're having trouble with their computers. We fix their stuff. When their data is lost because of a hard drive failure, we fix their stuff. When we have a situation where a customer can't get their website completed in time, we help them out with that stuff. So basically, no matter what's going on with your computer, you can count on us to get things taken care of for you, just like we did for John there. All right, so we're going to take our bottom of the hour break. When we come back, I have an update for you on the release date for the Windows 10 Fall Creators Update, a hard release date. If you've purchased a Schrock Safe upgrade, this is going to be a very important thing for you to know. Also, if you haven't purchased one yet, we need to make sure that you get yours. We only have a few left, so we want to make sure we get that taken care of. Also, coming up after the break here, who is going to win the robot revolution? Hint, it ain't us right now. We're fighting yesterday's battles still. Security bug in Windows that we got to tackle. Also, we want your help with something. Coming up next on Compute This.
Drive Advisor is a free program from Schrock Innovations that monitors your hard drive's health and tells you if it's going bad. Download it for free at driveadvisor.com. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs, and all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires a repair and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Hurricane Irma, the eye of the Category 4 storm, now passing over the Florida Keys. Most residents evacuated, but some are riding it out, like Zach Zillikakis and his family in Key West, where the winds are howling.
We're not sure what's out there. We're not sure what we're going to see when we open the door, but from what we hear, there's definitely stuff, blowing.
Monroe County PIO Cammie Clark is monitoring conditions at the emergency center in Key Largo.
Looking out my window, it is just the worst storm I've ever seen in my life, and we're about 120 miles from Key West where it's going to get the biggest impact, so I'm very fearful for what kind of damage and possible loss of life we're going to see down there.
Officials are confirming 3 people have died in the storm so far. 500,000 people are already without power across Florida. Irma's full force has yet to arrive. Florida Governor Rick Scott urging them to stay strong.
We're going to come through this. We're a resilient state. We have great people.
With continuing coverage, I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
Light rain showers possible this morning. We should see clearing by this afternoon. Otherwise, our temperatures will be slow to warm, but we'll make our way into the mid-80s. Tonight, we'll cool into the 60s before we head right back into the mid-80s for most of the week ahead. With Omaha's most accurate weather team, I'm WOWT 6 meteorologist Peter Sherwood on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All righty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Want to make sure everybody, we talked a little bit, or there was a commercial there about Drive Advisor. I had it up on the screen here on Facebook.com/Schrock Innovations for a bit. If you haven't installed Drive Advisor yet, please take a moment when you get back to your computer to do so. It's Drive Advisor, driveadvisor.com. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And literally while that spot was running, I get generic alerts when Drive Advisor, because I don't know, I like to see our stuff working. It makes me happy. Especially the innovators are proud of what they do. So, it comes through and it says, hey, we detected another bad hard drive. It was an external drive. It detected that it was bad. So literally while that spot was running, Drive Advisor detected a bad hard drive. It's really important to detect these bad hard drives before they get so bad that you end up in our data recovery lab. Thankfully, we're blessed with the equipment that we can actually get your data back if it does get that bad. We really don't want it to get to that point if we can help it. We would really prefer, instead of having you in the data recovery lab, that we can keep you in the regular service center and get your computer fixed for you without having the extra recovery cost associated with it. We'll save you a lot of money, but it's always easier. So make sure you take a look, driveadvisor.com, if you haven't already done so. 866-496-8772. Speaking of the innovators at Schrock, we've been talking about the Windows 10 Fall Creators Update for a while. The Fall Creators Update is coming on October 17. October 17th. That's a month and a week from today. 5 weeks from today. So we have Patch Tuesday, which is the second Tuesday of October, and then the Tuesday after that is the 17th. So the second and the third Tuesday of October, you will have patches for your computer. There will be a whole lot of restarting going on the second and third Tuesday of October. Unfortunately, which has been the case for every single previous Windows up, they call them updates. These aren't updates. The Fall Creators Update isn't an update. The stuff you get on the second Tuesday, those are patches. Those are updates. This is a whole new version of Windows coming on the 17th, which you got to be frustrated. If your job is making the patches, you make the patches on, the 12th or the 14th, and then a week later, they just make your patches completely irrelevant by releasing a whole new version of Windows that has your patches baked into it already. But it's a whole new version of Windows, just like when you upgraded from Windows 7 to Windows 10, just like the last 3 Creators updates that you got that jacked up your computer. The Fall Creators Update, unfortunately, is going to do it again. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm wrong. Just like maybe we were wrong when we said that Microsoft wasn't going to automatically upgrade you to Windows 10. And it did, in a lot of cases. People thought we'd be wrong. We weren't wrong. Maybe the first time around when there was a big update, one of these upgrades that comes out twice a year, it broke everybody's antivirus. And we thought, maybe it's the antivirus companies. They just weren't ready for this new method of Windows installing new versions yet, and they just weren't ready. Okay, the second one comes along, and it busts everybody's start menu. Like everybody, you can't click start. You can't type anything in the Cortana search. You can't click any of the icons on the bottom of the screen. You can't even click on the clock. That's a bummer. But maybe that was a one-off. The third one, people's computers just didn't come back from it. It just rebooted and then it wouldn't boot. And we got a flood of people coming in because their computer wouldn't boot. Those people are still coming in with Spring Creators Update problems. We just had 2 checked into the Lincoln Service Center yesterday that wouldn't boot, and probably as they were doing updates and they came up and it wouldn't boot, well, that'd be the Spring Creators Update. The bottom line is these are upgrades. They should be treated as upgrades. And a lot of people, I'm fearful that a lot of people are going to just let these try to automatically install on their computer, and they're going to face the aftermath afterward when they fail. Okay? So the biggest reasons they fail, why do they go bad? Number one, you're infected with something and you don't know it. Happens all the time, especially if you're running McAfee antivirus, AVG antivirus, which, come on, AVG detected Drive Advisor as a virus last week. We had to contact AVG and say, come on, guys, what the heck? And they're like, oops, sorry, it was fixed in an hour. Drive Advisor is not a virus. Avast, which literally we posted screenshots on Facebook. It was a split screen. On the left side of the screen, it's Avast saying, you're safe, good to go, green thumbs up. And on the right is a Malwarebytes screen listing 1,028 infections on the computer that are Trojans and otherwise. So that's Avast for you. Kaspersky's not bad. If you have Kaspersky, you're probably okay. So if you have an infection, the Creators Update ain't going to work. If you have a bad hard drive, the Creators Update ain't going to work. You can install Drive Advisor. It'll tell you if you have a bad hard drive before you do the Creators Update. Okay? If your third-party software is out of date, if you have like Adobe version 5 installed on your computer for some godforsaken reason, it ain't going to work. Secure Updater Trial can fix that for you. So I've had customers ask me, hey, Thor, I have Drive Advisor. I have Endpoint already. I also have Secure Updater. If those are the only real big things that happen that mess up computers, what do I have to worry about? Well, what if it reboots or it doesn't reboot? We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if everything's going to go swimmingly well. It very well could. We don't know if everything is going to go terribly wrong. Okay? So here's the deal. We created a piece of software called Schrock Safe Upgrade. So it double checks all that stuff that I mentioned before it installs the Creators Update. But the biggest thing that you're getting when you get the Schrock Safe Upgrade from our website at SchrockInnovations.com is you're getting a warranty. If something goes wrong, you are covered. For a month after you do the update. You are covered for that month after you do the update. If something goes wrong, you're covered. Now, of course, it has to be something going wrong related to the update. If you do the update and it goes great, and then like 2 weeks later your hard drive fails, that's not covered. Come on, get real. But if a computer doesn't reboot, if it reboots and the start menu doesn't work, if it reboots and your endpoint or your other antivirus is broken, that's all covered, guys. It's all covered by the warranty. You can bring it into the service center, or we can try to fix it over the Schrock desk, which we can do warranties over the Schrock desk, saving you the time of driving in, saving our technicians the time of all the other paperwork and everything. We can just get it done for you. That's a good thing. But you're not protected unless you have the software. Now, the software does cost a little bit. Unfortunately, programmers, last time I checked, get paid a ridiculous amount of money. I know because I pay them. And they created this for us. The software is done. We're just waiting for the update before we're going to make it available for download. You download it from your Schrock account. So you log in at SchrockInnovations.com. You go put it in the shopping cart, and when you go to checkout, it'll ask you to create an account. That's your Schrock account. I know it sounds complicated, but it's super straightforward. If you've ever shopped on Amazon before, if you've ever shopped at Walmart.com, or if you've done Hy-Vee online grocery shopping, you can create a Schrock account, okay? If you sign into your Gmail account, your Yahoo account, or your AOL account, you can use this website. If you have trouble using our website, we're open on Saturdays from 10 in the morning till 8 in the evening, Sundays from noon to 5, and every other day of the week you can imagine as well. And we'll help you do it. If you want to do it in the service center, you can come in. We'll sit you down at one of the front computers, log you in, get it all done, and then log you out. So that way you have a Schrock account. When the software is released, you will hear about it on the radio. I'm already telling you it's going to come out sometime on the 17th. We don't know if it's 8 a.m. We don't know if it's 8 p.m. We don't know if it's in the middle of the night. No, it's not going to instantly install on your computer from Microsoft when it comes out. So if you're on vacation when this comes out, leave your computer off. You'll be fine. When you get back, turn the computer on, run the update. It'll do it. You're good to go. All right? We can do it in the service center for you when the time comes, but keep in mind, a lot of people are going to come to the service center when that time comes. It's going to be busy. So get the software. We're going to be running the same software in the service center. So get the software yourself on our website at SchrockInnovations.com while there's still some available. We're a month and a week out, guys, from this thing happening, and we all know that human nature is procrastination, right? 832 are left in stock, which sounds like a whole lot. We started with 1,000 2 weeks ago. So and we're a month and a week away. Keep in mind, if you have more than one computer at home, or you have kids or grandkids or kids in college, things like that, and you want to use this for them too, you need one copy for each computer. So if you figure every person that decides to buys 2 or 3, 832 goes really fast. We've had some people buying 5 or 6. We've had small businesses buying one for every computer in the office because it's a heck of a lot cheaper than having an on-site or having the IT guys come out and do the repair work when something goes wrong and you don't lose your data. We can fix your computer, but we can't get your data back when it's deleted, when it's formatted over. So be safe about this, guys. The Schrock Safe Upgrade sets restore points. It does all kinds of things that the regular update doesn't do. So check it out at SchrockInnovations.com. You can click on Shop and you can click on Specials, and it'll show you right there. It'll be right there. The Schrock Safe Upgrade is right there. You can add it to the cart. It'll put it in at quantity 1. If you need more than one, make sure you change the quantity. If you've already bought one, but you only bought one and you need 2, you can go buy a second one. Separate transaction doesn't make a difference. It all goes to your Schrock account. And when it's time to download, you'll log back into your Schrock account. We will send you an email with instructions, and we will be there to help you do it. And you can download it and install it on your computer. Don't procrastinate it. The Schrock Safe Upgrade available at SchrockInnovations.com. 866-496-8772. Going to take a quick break here. Let's knock this one out a little bit early, and then we're going to run through to the end of the show. Frank and Bob, stay on the line. Your calls are coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations Data Recovery Lab saves the data the other guys can't. The next time your hard drive, camera card, or flash drive fails, let Schrock get your data back. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff, and that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive.
Compute This Pro Tip 178. Those little life-saving surge protector strips are vital to your computer's health and should be used whenever possible, even for laptops. As computers get smaller and more powerful, they're also becoming more sensitive to dirty power, and your power is a lot dirtier than you might think. Even if you have a whole home surge protection, most power surges are generated within your own home. If you've ever vacuumed and seen the lights get dimmer and brighter, you created a surge. Surge protectors can only absorb so much energy measured in joules. When that capacity is exhausted, your surge protector becomes a glorified extension cord and needs to be replaced. You should always look for surge protectors that give audible alerts when they're no longer able to protect your equipment. Schrock recommends these because the lights on most strips are just power lights and they don't tell you when it's time to replace the unit. If in doubt, replace your surge protectors annually to keep your expensive TVs, computers, and other electronic equipment safe. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, wrapping up the program today. Last segment of Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, which is graciously sponsoring this program so we can be on the air every week. So if you have problems with your computers, if you have issues with your printers, or you need someone, we do on-site work. We will come to your home and fix your computer for you. We will come to your business and we will fix your computer for you. The guys at Schrock Interactive will build your website for you. In fact, this is going to be great because the guys at Schrock Interactive right now are managing the Facebook thing for us to make sure everything is getting answered and everything, so I don't have to look at it all the time and I can just talk. I decided last night while I was giving my daughter a bath at like 8:30 that we have some portfolio building to do. You know, we just got the City of Louisville website. Awesome get there. It kind of covers that government sector for us, but we're missing a few types of websites that we don't have. If you need a website right now, give me a call. You can ask for me. It's okay. You can give me a call. Monday, I will be in the Omaha Service Center. I try to hit all three of them, and I try to spend a day each week in each one minimum. But on Monday, I'm usually in the Omaha Service Center because I get up, I do the morning blend, and it's near the Omaha Service Center, so I head over that way. But basically, if you want to give me a call, if you own a business and you're looking for a new website or you're thinking of starting a business and you want a website, we're looking to fill a few niches. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of what we're looking for, but we're talking about a 75% discount off the cost of a new website. Pretty significant. If it's in the right kind of sector kind of thing we want to have in our portfolio, because we're about to launch a whole new Schrock Interactive website that's going to knock your socks off. It's amazing tech that's coming out of that site. The innovators have been very busy with that. You know, they have a few things on their plate, you know, like Drive Advisor and Schrock Safe Upgrade and this new one. On Facebook, Jonathan writes, "Thank you for making Drive Advisor. I remotely installed it on my parents' PC in Houston and found a pair of failing hard drives in my mom's desktop. She uses that machine to create tests and grade papers as an adjunct professor for a local community college. Because of that warning, we were able to plan ahead, backing up the latest bit of work, and got her moved to a laptop before a failure." That is exactly what Drive Advisor is for. Thank you for that, Jonathan. I appreciate you letting us know that it's helping people out and saving them money and saving them time. So basically, guys, saving money, saving time, that's what we do at Schrock. When we fix things right. You tend to come in as a Schrock customer, you get wowed with the service, you get on the train, you know, you get the endpoint, you get the secure updater, you get the Drive Advisor, and then all of a sudden, you're coming in for preventative maintenance checkups twice a year and nothing's really going wrong anymore. It just works. And when you have a problem, you got a guy you can call that you know by a first name, who you can say, "Come on, Robert," or "Come on, Kyle," or "Come on, Kevin," "Come on, Dylan," "Come on, Summer, help me out." And they help you out. It's awesome. It's like having that friend that you need to have in your tech world. So check it out, Schrock Innovations. If you're looking for a website, businesses, give us a call. Give me a call on Monday. 402-934-9423 is where I will be. And we can talk about what you want to do with your site. And if it's a good fit for our portfolio, for our new website launch, we'll cut you a pretty sweet deal to get that done. Most websites take between 4 and 8 weeks to complete. Of course, that depends on how fast you get us content and things. If you take forever, the website takes forever. All right, 866-496-8772. Frank, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great this morning. I had a crazy week last week, but it was fun.
Okay. I've got a 2013 holiday special from you. what I would like to know now is, will you come out with a holiday laptop, possibly with Skype already built in?
Absolutely. In fact, Microsoft bought Skype. So now it comes with Windows 10. So the new holiday special laptop will have a webcam. In fact, that was one of the upgrades. Like the webcam in the Dell model is a full HD webcam. It's like a full HD, whereas like the one that comes with the Asus was like a 720. It's still HD, but it's the lower end of HD. So if you use Skype or those kind of interactive things, the webcam in the Dell is better. And that's one of the things, online on Facebook, people are commenting that Dell or Asus, they don't really have a problem with the brands. It's the service behind the brands that's always been the problem with Dell. And that was one of the reasons why Michael Dell took them private again. And it's still, I mean, you get sent to India either way, but it seems like they get the better Indians to help you with Asus. I don't know. But our customers that have Asus laptops don't end up calling India because we do it for them. So we take care of the service end of things. So it works out. But yeah, Frank, they will build Skype right into whatever holiday special laptop or desktop we decide. They will all have Skype.
Well, you can count me in because I will be looking for it.
Oh, it sounds good. We're gonna knock your socks off.
I'm in the process of finding a laptop. My computer works fine. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Frank. Have a great afternoon. Got Frank in the drawing for that Thank you for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate as well. 866-496-8772. Those are the numbers to join us on the program today. Ask a question or make a comment. We'll get you in the drawing for a Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Decade-old Windows kernel bug allows hackers to bypass security protections. Researchers say that a bug in the Windows kernel allows hackers to perform malicious actions by tricking security products that blindly rely on the Windows API. Blah, blah, blah. There's an old bug in Windows that they never fixed because they never thought it would be important. But then Windows changed, and that bug continued on, and now it's become important, and they're going to probably patch it next month. The end. All right. Yeah, there's nothing you can do to stop it. There's nothing you can do to protect yourself against it. They'll take care of it. 866-496-8772. Bots. Robots, big robots, little robots, intimate robots. The robots are everywhere. I don't know if you've been following this kind of stuff, but Foxconn has a completely robotic factory now that makes iPhones. Maybe that's why they're saying that the Apple stock is going to take a hit because the iPhone is having severe production problems. Robot revolution, Terminator, I don't know. Could have happened. But then there's a weird thing happening in Nevada. Not my thing, don't get me wrong, but apparently there are some brothels in Nevada where robotic companions are more desirable than the human ones. It's not a comfortable Sunday morning topic for me either, guys, but apparently, seriously, like there's a demand for this. And there was an article on a web Drudge yesterday about how it's going crazy. Like and then they talk about like it's just like when you're getting like a new computer. I'm like, hey, the new webcam is full HD instead of half HD. Hey, this new robot sounds more human than ever. She actually blah 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 blahs. And you're like, oh my gosh, really? That's a feature? I suppose so. So here's the thing. One of the things that really annoys me about the United States. I love the U.S. I love the freedom that we have. It pains me every time we lose a little scrap of it to some other stupid regulation. They passed a self-driving car regulation that makes it easier for companies to put autonomous cars on the road. Yay, go technology. It also allows them to remove safety features from cars, like steering wheels and brakes. Boo, technology. So haven't you watched iRobot when Will Smith takes over control? Yes, Mark, this is your test. International Movie Database, iRobot. He takes control of his car in the tunnel, and the bus is full of killer robots are like swerving in front of him, and he's driving up the walls and stuff. If you're in a completely autonomous car and you can't do anything, does it even have windows? Why does it even need windows? You're in a pod being driven down the road by a computer, and you can't take control of the car. I am all for autonomous cars, but I still want a wheel and a brake pedal. Call me old-fashioned. Airplanes have pilots. They can take off and land by themselves now, too, but they still have a stick and a throttle. Can I have a wheel, please? But China, in America, we're always fighting yesterday's wars. Okay, autonomous cars, we finally passed the law. How long have we had autonomous cars driving on the roads now? A couple of years? We finally passed a law saying, okay, let's let these cars drive on the road. Japan is usually where the robot things have been. You remember the Hyundai robot? Big boom, boom, boom. Hey, look, it walks. It was a big deal. It was in the 80s, and you get this thing with knees to walk. It looked like a giant toy robot. Japan's where all that innovation has always happened before. But China is rapidly overtaking. They were far surpassing Japan in production capacity. But we all know that that's what China does is they make stuff. They make stuff wickedly cheap because the people don't get paid a lot. That's changing a little bit though. You'd be surprised when a Chinese vendor tells me this is going to be a lot more expensive than we expected. They mean it's going to cost like 2 pennies more per unit. That's a lot to them. To me, I'm like, give me the better quality. If 2 pennies, give me the better quality. And they're like, oh, no, it costs you 1,000 units. That's 2,000 pennies. And you're like, I don't care. And they're like, that's a week's wage for us. That's a lot of money. So China is actually starting to take the lead now in new and innovative robotic designs and components. They're taking the intellectual property lead. And that's really all we got left, guys, because we don't make stuff anymore. We don't. So we need to really stop fighting the battles of yesterday, trying to get jobs back that aren't ever going to come back, and fight the battles of tomorrow, because somebody's going to make these robots. The robots that make everything else, somebody has to make those robots until they make themselves, and then we're all going to die. But in the meantime, let's get some jobs, right? All right, we got a load of callers on the lines here. Do I have a minute? 1 minute. All right, let's go ahead and let's take Ken. Ken, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Thank you, Thor.
Thank you,
You're
Ken.
all right.
Well, thank you.
I had a problem printing out pictures off of a flip phone and my Hero phone.
Yeah.
You fixed it with less than 10 clicks. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're 9.5.
Well, thank you. And I will endeavor, Ken, to earn that additional half star from you moving forward. Speaking of which...
You're okay. I've got many of your computers, and I thank you very much from the bottom of my computer heart.
All right. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate you joining us on the program, and thank you for the kind words. Well, I'm not going to have time to get to Scott and Bob here. Scott, Bob, we're going to open up today in a little bit. Give us a call in the service centers. We're happy to help you out. Also, speaking of 9.5 rating, if you have a moment, pop on to the Sarpy County People's Choice Awards. We'd appreciate your vote there as well for Best Computer Repair in Papillion. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll join you again next Sunday for another exciting edition of Compute This.
That was a busy show today. I'm trying to make sure I got to everything I wanted to get to. I think I did. We didn't talk about Secure Updater at all, but whatevers. All right, so let me get my Facebook tab open here so I can answer any questions you guys might have. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Mark, for that. There's the China. Yeah, the robot thing in China really bothered me because it's like, oh my gosh, how is the U.S. getting left behind in this? Last week, Vladimir Putin came out and said that whoever masters artificial intelligence is going to rule the world because computers are going to be making crazy decisions for us. They're going to be controlling the information our leadership sees. And when one country gets artificial intelligence computers that can think super fast and take action instantaneously based on input, it's going to make everybody else feel super slow. So we're all going to have artificial intelligence as well to compete, and it becomes an arms race of artificial intelligence then. You have that going on. You've got automated war machines going on now. Increasingly, numbers of autonomous. You started off with pack dogs and pack mules. Now they're mounting guns on them, and they're taking them into the field. They're testing them. So it's a crazy world we're living in. We're living through literally an industrial revolution. And the thinkers and the winners are going to be the people that can see over the horizon and come up with the things that are going to solve problems. Why is it that in China, they are figuring out quantum encryption and quantum communication to a satellite in orbit. They're literally teleporting photons from the surface of the Earth to a satellite, Star Trek style. That's real news. Why aren't we doing that? Maybe we are doing that and we just don't brag about it. And maybe China stole it from us and they're bragging about it because they're looking for the PR bump from it. Maybe we are already doing that. I keep hoping like this thing with North Korea, if it does go crazy, that, you remember like the first Gulf War when all of a sudden we had stealth bombers and we're like, whoa, where did those come from, man? I hope we have UFOs from the Greys, Everything nuclear is just like contained and then put down and done. That'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? All right, if you have any questions, now is the time to post them at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, although you know that because you're watching on Facebook right now, more than likely. You post a question or comment there, and then we'll get you an answer going. Golly, what else is going on? So I'm serious about the Dell thing. I didn't get a whole ton of comments on the Dell versus Asus thing. I got a lot of hurt feelings toward Dell, and I try not to let that come through in the show. I try not to pick on Dell. I purposely probably pick on HP more than Dell because, I'm trying not to pick on Dell. And honestly, when you talk about HP or Dell, or Best Buy for that matter, you're kind of name-dropping competitors in a way. You don't want to do that, I guess. But, the show walks a line between marketing and news and advice. So maybe we can pull that off. The holiday special is a sacred thing for us. It literally is the best of the best technology, and the desktops are going to blow your mind this year. Absolutely blow your mind, the technology that's coming out this year. It's going to make it's going to make last year's holiday special. This is one of those quantum leaps forward. And then, AMD is an American company that did this. So, yes, we love that. But, man, there's just the laptops, the chips aren't out. The new AMD chips aren't out for laptops yet. So how do we get a great new laptop with the best technology? Because we're looking at the same Asus ROGs basically that we used last year. There's not a whole lot that's changed. The price has gone up a little bit. But that's about it. The processor's a little bit marginally faster, marginally more energy efficient. Nothing the average consumer is going to notice. The Dell computers, they have better webcams. If you don't use a webcam, you're never going to notice that. The Dell computers have more settings for the backlit keyboard. Again, how many of you actually change your backlit keyboard settings? Whatever. Sound quality. I don't know. We haven't heard the Dell yet, so we're going to take a look at it. I just don't want to, throw a Dell out there and have a bunch of people kind of freak out like, oh, what's Schrock doing? The other thing is, too, the thing that concerns me is what's the quality of components that are going into the Dell. So, for example, we can get if we get the Asus models don't usually come with solid state drives. We have to take them by the solid state separately. We do a lot of upgrade work on the memory and the hard drives. The less expensive Asus models next year are all going to be chip on board. Like the Boundless next year is going to be chip on board. There's just no way around it. You can't buy a $500 laptop and have it not be chip on board anymore. They just don't exist. Chip on board means everything is baked onto the board when you can't upgrade much. So you buy what you buy, you use it till it breaks, and you throw it away. There's no fixing it. The more expensive laptops, though, can be repaired. How repairable is the Dell? That's one of the things we're going to check out. So I am really the price of the desktop and the laptop, Kevin. We always target $14.99 is the price we target. Now for the desktop model, that includes a monitor, wireless keyboard and mouse, and speakers. The speakers are usually built into the monitor. This year's desktop model is going to feature a Ryzen processor. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to have DDR4 memory, which is going to be way faster than last year's memory. The solid state's going to be faster than last year's solid state drive. Golly, what else? The video card is going to be 4 times more powerful than last year's video card. So if you use it for any kind of, it's going to be VR ready, basically. Boy, I'm trying to think of the other upgrades. I mean, it's just the wireless card is going to be 802.11ac. We think we'll be able to do that. The reason we didn't do it last year is because it does cost a lot more to go to a wireless AC networking card, and most of our customers still have wireless N routers. And if you have an N router, the AC card doesn't give you any speed boost. If you buy one of the super expensive, $300 wireless AC routers, then you get a speed boost, a big speed boost. That's what I have in my house. It's amazing. But yeah, most customers don't. So do we really include that? Well, it's the holiday special, man. It's got to have the best of everything. because we sell it at cost. It's $14.99, so it's how much can we cram in for $1,500. So yeah, it's a pretty big deal. And of course, Dell wants me to use our credit line again for the laptops. Typically with the holiday special, the way it works is we make a deal with our vendors and we say we're going to buy this many units of each component for the desktop and then this many laptops. Give us the bulk pricing. We'll give you a contract that we're going to buy that many. And then as customers come in and purchase from us, we bulk you into programs, basically. So the first 25 customers come in and buy, and then we send out an order for 25. Then the second 25 come in, and then we send out that order. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer than the 14 business days to get them done. What Dell is proposing to us, which is the only reason I've even thought about doing this, what if you could do the same thing, but you have this fatty old credit line with Dell? And I'm like, oh, don't start on the credit line. That's a sore spot. Don't talk about that. But he's like, no, you have a credit line, and you know you're going to get promotional interest on it. And you know you're going to sell 150 units, and half of them at least are going to be laptops. So what if you could order the laptops ahead and have them in stock when people buy, so they could just come in and take their laptop home that day? Is that not better service? That's where he turned to me, because honestly, it is better service, and we're all about service. Asus doesn't give us a credit line. We buy when we buy. We can put a contract together with our vendors, but we don't get a credit line. We have to pay cash when we buy. So this would be a pretty big deal, being able to hand these laptops out the day they're purchased, on site that afternoon, customize them and have them to you same day. You got to be kidding me. That'd be amazing. Okay, well, let's take a look. So I'm not saying we're going to do it, but I want your opinion, okay? Jonathan's writing, Dell lost my business forever when they had to send techs out to my former employer and replace over 1,000 motherboards because some bean counter at corporate switched from one brand to another. The pain they went through was immeasurable. Yeah, I mean, that's what's happening, Dell and Asus are both fine for me, Buster says. So basically the Dell, there's a reason that when Dell went public, they had great product. Michael Dell took Dell public. And then the bean counters got in and everything got it. It's the same thing that's happening with the HPs right now. They're snipping out little bits here and little bits there, and whoever can save them a nickel, dime, or penny per unit is getting the contract. And so the support is just going down just a little bit. Not enough that you would really tick you off, but just enough that if you had to deal with them, that you'd almost rather just go buy another laptop than call technical support. That's one of the reasons we're here and we're doing so well. If you look at that, that's the reason that Michael Dell, about 3-4 years ago, forked out, it's like something like $42 million, and he bought Dell back. He bought his old company back and took it over, and he is running it now. So I had an interaction with the same Dell you did, Jonathan, and I had the same impression. We had some Dell laptops that we ordered for customers on that credit line, and they all had wireless card issues because they all used the cheaper wireless card. We had to replace all the wireless cards out of our pocket because when we'd send them back to Dell or we'd call Dell with a problem, they'd give us another of the identical same piece of garbage, cheap wireless chipsets. Oh, they have Bluetooth as well. I don't care. My customers aren't hooking up Bluetooth speakers to their computer. They don't even want Bluetooth. By the way, the holiday special has Bluetooth in the laptop model and possibly the desktop model too. So we're going to check that out. If you want to do that, you could, because now some people they have Bluetooth headphones and things now. It'd be nice to have your headphones automatically paired to the computer when you turn them on, wouldn't it? So it would be for me anyway. I like it. I'm still rocking a holiday special from 4 years ago, guys. I'm ready for an upgrade. I'm getting the itch, that new computer itch. So I guess that's. I'm looking for your advice on that to get your thoughts, because I don't want to bring you guys a product that you're not going to like or you're not going to enjoy. All right. So with that said, any other questions? Last call for questions before we wrap it up. Questions going once. Questions going twice. All right, we're going to be on the Omaha Morning Blend tomorrow, which is Monday. And holy cow, a lot of people purchased safe upgrades. If you haven't done that yet, I am not joking with you. We're going to send postcards out to our customers, especially the customers who did the Windows 10 upgrades with us. We're going to be sending out postcards to those customers telling them about this. And when we do that, it's going to get nuts. So now is the time. If you have not purchased your Schrock Safe upgrade yet, go to SchrockInnovations.com, click on shop, click on specials, and you can see it right there. You can read all about it. I wrote that huge block of text. You can tell it was me because it's really long. I tend to talk a lot. But it's all the details. Every question you might have is answered in that list there. Check it out. And if you haven't bought one, make sure you get one for each computer. If you already bought one and you didn't think, oh gosh, the kids are probably going to need that, or oh gosh, grandma's going to need that, or grandpa's going to need that, or oh, the grandkids have computers, or hey, my Windows tablet is going to need that. Don't forget about your Windows tablets, guys. This upgrade will work on your tablet too. Any Windows device is going to get this update, so it's important that you get one for each device you have. If you've already bought one, you can go back and buy another one. If you forgot, it'll just add it to your account. We're going to release the actual software before the 17th. It will be available for download before the 17th. But if you download it and try to run it before the 17th, it'll say, it's not quite time yet. Update's not available yet. And then if you update it, if you download it and run it after the 17th, when the update comes out, we'll jump on Facebook right here and say, hey, the update's out. We'll probably boost it to make sure you see it, because you know how Facebook works. You only see like 25% of what your friends and your likes post. Unless we throw $10 behind it, then that's all you cost. With $10, we can invade your feed, baby. So yeah, check that out. Let's see. Carolyn emails. Since I drive by some of Dell campuses almost every day, I'd say go with Dell. Thanks for always working to give us great info, products, and services. Blessings from Carolyn in Round Rock. Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate that. I appreciate your email as well. All right. So any other questions? Let's take a look here. Drive Advisor emailed me. I'm at 84%, says Keith. Is it your C drive, Keith? If it's your C drive, you can actually click on the more info. I know you're kind of a techie guy, Keith. You can click on that, see more info, and it'll give you the technical reasons why we've given your drive an 84% health rating. Because the percentage is a Schrock thing. Like, you can have a drive that fails for a long time before it actually gets critical, but you can also have a drive that goes from 100% to 99% and fails completely. So if it drops under 100%, it's a bad drive. Fun fact, if your Drive Advisor tells you that your hard drive is going bad, and let's say you have a Dell or an HP, if you call Dell and you run the Dell hard drive test, which they'll make you do, and then you call back after the test is done, okay? And so you hang up and you run this test, and then it comes back and says your hard drive is fine. But then Drive Advisor says it's now 83% because you just ran a huge hard drive test on it and stressed it out. They're not going to replace those hard drives for you under warranty. Because the point of turning off the smart notification is you don't get these notifications before the hard drive fails while you're still in warranty. So here's what we do at Schrock. You bring that computer into us. Maybe you're a new customer, maybe not. If you're a new customer, you get that first hour of labor free. If you're not, you come in, it's an hour of labor for us to do this, but it's well worth it. We will because we're going to get you a free hard drive, right? 1 hour is a lot cheaper than 3 and a hard drive. So we're going to take your hard drive that works well enough that we can back it up, and we're going to back it up. Then we're going to play hacky sack with it. We've actually done that. How many times can we kick the hard drive and then, across the room, bam, it hits the wall. Yeah, plug that in. And then sometimes we plug them in and they just keep working. And we're like, seriously? So then we plug them in and then we're like shaking them while they're plugged in. We're slapping them on our hand. We're whatever we can. And then finally we get the click, click. We put that bad boy back in your laptop. We run the Dell test again. Keep in mind we have a backup. And guess what? Your hard drive tests bad now. And Dell says, we will gladly replace that. Or HP says, we will gladly replace that. Or Asus even says, we will gladly replace that hard drive for you. Now, one difference between Dell and Asus that I will say from a service perspective, Dell will send us one hard drive. They'll let us do it. They'll send us the hard drive. We'll put the hard drive in and we'll send them the bad one back. They will let us do that. Asus requires us to send your entire laptop to Asus, wait 4 weeks, and get your laptop back. That's kind of annoying. We wish Asus would just send us the hard drive. Dell will do that, though. So that's kind of a service FYI there. But so basically Keith says has a problem turning on, have to unplug the power cord to get it to come on. Yeah, that's a hard drive dying, Keith. You're in bad shape. At 84%, you should still be able to clone that over to a new drive safely and save your data and make it bootable. You can use, if you want to do it at home yourself, you can use Acronis to do that. It's a good program. The bottom line is if it gets down to around 50-ish%, that's when it becomes data recovery territory in many cases. All right, I've got to wrap up, guys. Got to get home to the fam, but make sure you watch tomorrow. Morning Blend, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Equifax breach tomorrow. So we talked about that today, but if you want to see the video of it, you can watch tomorrow. Also, we'll be recapping the Schrock Safe upgrade as well on there. Now that we have a release date, we'll be talking about that as well. If you have problems this week in the service center or questions, it's a great time to come in. If you have a prepaid maintenance certificate, we send out an email blast and a phone blast to people that we thought still had outstanding certificates. We did find that there was an error in our database mathematical calculations, and some people got calls. If you had more than one computer and you bought a certificate and one of the computers that you have hasn't been in during that 6-month period, any one of them, then you got a call, even though you used your certificate. So if you got a call, you may have already used the certificate. I apologize for the call and the email. But if you haven't used the certificates that you bought back in February and March, yes, I know some of you are going to say, I have till the 15th to use that. Please don't procrastinate. Get in and use it. The people who have till the 15th to use it are not very many because the sale actually ended. Those are the people who called in late and begged and pleaded to have a certificate after the sale was over. So please make sure you get in and use those prepaid maintenance certificates before they expire. We can't credit them toward anything else, and once they expire, and they're not refundable. So make sure you don't miss the opportunity and use them. We want you to use them because people who buy them and don't use them aren't likely to buy them next time. Then you start missing maintenance checkups, then you start to have problems, and then you come in and you got a bad power supply or a bad hard drive or a bad motherboard or whatever the case might be, and it's a disaster. So now is a great time. We're open actually today on Sunday from noon until 5, so you can come in anytime today. We also open on Monday again at 10. We're also putting out some calls. We had an unusually large number of people in August not renew their endpoint or choose not to renew it. It was something like 12%, and that's really, really high for some reason. So Summer's going to be calling people and telling them, hey, what's going on with that? But watch for those phone calls. If you get a call from Summer, that's legit. It's not one of those fake Microsoft calls. All right, guys. Have a great afternoon. We'll talk to you again here next week.